Mubarak. Today is the first day of Ramadan and I'm so happy. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar and is a very important and special month for all Muslims. If the concept of Ramadan is new to you, make sure to watch my other video about Ramadan that I explained about Ramadan in details. Ramadan is very important and very special for all Muslims. That's why they celebrate it wherever they are. There are several activities that Muslims do during Ramadan, but the most important one is fasting. Muslims fast, and the fasting starts before sunrise and ends at sunset. So before sunrise, people have a special meal that is called sahur, and it can be anything, and it can differ, and it can be various depending on the culture, personal habits and diets. Usually in Iran, it's quite common that people have rice and some side dishes like chicken or meat or vegetables. Many people think that sahur is something like a breakfast, but it's not. Sahur is quite a heavy meal because it is supposed to support your body for 12 hours or more, that you don't eat and you don't drink anything. So it's quite a heavy meal. But of course it depends. In different regions and cultures it can be very different. Anyway, people have a special meal that is called sahur, and then they don't eat anything, they don't drink anything until sunset. Even not drinking water. So when you hear that, it might be very difficult. You think that, oh, it's very difficult. How can people do that? The thing is that yes, it is quite challenging, but it's not that difficult. And people break their fast after sunset by a special meal that is called iftar. And iftar also can be different depending on the culture and personal habits. I can say that personally for me, the first few days of fasting are quite easy and I really don't feel any pressure or bad feeling. But the last few days are quite challenging and gets kind of harder. But as it gets close to Eid, I'm more excited and I get kind of motivated and I keep up and continue fasting. Eid is the last day of Ramadan. That is very important day. People celebrate it, Muslims celebrate it. People try to wear special new clothes and go to visit each other and have fun and enjoy this important day. So the last few days that it gets more difficult, actually people are motivated and they continue fasting. So even if it gets difficult. Many people think that during Ramadan, Islamic countries are quite calm and quiet and people don't work and don't go to university, don't go to work and don't study. The thing is that it's not like this. The reality is that life is like before. We do work and we do study, we do go to university and school. Life is like before. We do live like before. But you can see that the cities are quiet and calm during daytime. The people are fasting, the restaurants are closed. But after iftar, people would like to go out more. People go outside, eat and drink together with family, friends, and they have fun. Yeah, this is something that you can feel it really. And during Ramadan, people try to pray more. Muslims pray much more than before and try to do more good deeds and prevent all the deeds that are prevented in Islam. This is something that of course we are supposed to do all around the year, at all the time. But the thing is that during Ramadan, people try to be a better person, it's a time to connect to God, connect to ourselves and our soul, and try to think that what I have done this year and what am I going to do, how can I improve myself, how can I improve my personality and character and be a better person, to show a better version of myself. This is very important time to improve ourselves spiritually, individually and socially. and people try to read the Quran much more than before. Personally, I read the Quran every year. As the Quran has 30 divisions, I read each day one division, so by the end of the Ramadan I can complete the Quran. And not only me, I think mostly Muslims do this way. They follow this, that each day one division, that by the end they can complete the Quran. But this year, personally, I want to work more on interpretation of the Quran. Of course, I'm going to read the Quran and complete it, but I would like to read and understand the Quran much more than before. And of course, it's very valuable and it can help me improve myself much better and easier. And this year, it's much more important for Iranian and Persians because this Ramadan 2025, is it coincides with Nowruz. Nowruz is the new year of the Persians, is the Persian New Year, that is the 21st of March. So it's not an event that happens every year. It happens once every 30 or 35 years. So it's quite rare that it happens. So it's quite important and special this year. I mean, it's very special for Persians. And at the same time that they're preparing for Ramadan and they're fasting, they're praying, they're also preparing for Nowruz. So it's very special and very important for Persians. And during Ramadan, there are a lot of charities that they are more active and they are trying to help poor people to buy clothes, money, or food, anything, to make sure that everyone is enjoying Ramadan. So I would really like to know your experiences. Have you ever fasted, or have you ever seen anyone fast? I mean, your friends, relatives, families. Please let me know in the comments. I would really like to read about your experiences. How do you feel? Or maybe you're a person that you have the plan to try fasting, or maybe you are not sure if you can or cannot. You can give it a try because it's really good for your health. It's really good and beneficial physically and spiritually. Personally, I really feel rejuvenated. I mean, in my body and in my soul. This is really important time for me, and I think that you can give it a try. And I hope that Ramadan 2025 will be perfect time for you and me, and I'm going to try my best during this Ramadan.